Yes, and we're back. This is Celtic Unrestricted View, and my name is Ryan Clifford. I'm joining this episode. Celtic hit six of the best. It's my good man, Mr. Alan Stirling. Well, Alan, before the game, we touched on negativity, shall we call it, on the striker part, but the performance, mate, Celtic were fast, they were free, they were absolutely flowing. It was six. Striker what, Alan? Who needs a striker when you've got six goals? But absolutely fantastic performance, especially the second half, mate. What was your take after the game, leading up to the game, after the game? What was your thoughts on the goals, performance? But overall, mate, I thought it was fantastic, and it was good to see what you like to call a complete performance.
Yeah. Well, hi guys, hi everyone that's watching. Hope you're all well. No, definitely. We've been crying out. I've been saying for a number of weeks that we were looking for that kind of complete performance, that kind of 90-minute performance that the whole team kind of clicked. The whole team done really well, and well, our wishes were granted last night. Will be Wednesday night by the time we're recording. No, it was very impressive the way we played last at the game. The way, as you say, the kind of the flowing football, the intensity, the some of the flair and the skill we use. Well, some of the goals, I think you could pick maybe two or three of the goals that you're looking at are kind of top notch. So it's, as you say, no striker, but Adam gets one of the goals, and you're relying on the kind of the other guys on about with that. Some of them had kind of superb performances. So we'll dig into some of the goals, but you're looking at the likes of kind of Engels, Jota, Real Hitati, absolutely tremendous. That's not even to mention kind of Dyson Maeda, who got the man of the match at the game. So it was that. I think that's going to give us a wee bit of confidence going into maybe a tough run of games, including the Champions League playoffs. But you're looking at that. That was very, very impressive, and it was a joy to watch. And let's hope that we can replicate that and that kind of performance in the games upcoming. Because if we play like that domestically, I think it's an extremely high level that teams domestically are probably going to struggle to match. So yeah, extremely happy. What were your thoughts on the game, mate?
Just to echo what you said there, mate, it was fantastic, especially the second half. I did feel it 1-0. We did go a wee bit flat for 5-10 minutes, but after that, again, it was fantastic. Some of the football in the second half was superb. Obviously, spoke about Jota there, mate. You probably starting him. I thought he was dynamite, especially when he gets the ball at his feet. He's just direct. He's old school. Just wants to take men on, and it was a wee bit. I don't know. Obviously, been at the game myself. I don't know if anybody's seen it. If you watched it on TV or anybody who's at the game seen it, but it was quite frustrated in the second half. The start of the second half, and he wasn't getting the ball, and he was in space, and he was kind of shouting for the ball, and he wasn't getting it, but he was still moving to get it, and then he got the ball. I've let the guy next to me. You need to give him the ball. You need to give him the ball because he'll make things happen. 2 minutes later, he got the ball, step over, cut inside, guys in my ear, header, and that's what he brings, Alan. He's different class, and there's a, I think was it the I think it came from Maeda's chip as well, which we'll touch on again. But he actually made the goal for the end. He brought it down nicely and passed it, and then it got wide, and then it was through. So I thought he was different class, Alan, and obviously he got a good reception as well, and he got probably a good bit of game time. I didn't expect him to start, but a lot of people obviously when he signed weren't really sure if he was going to be the Jota of old or was he fit enough. How long would we need to wait to see him? If that's the Jota that's still fit yet, then I think for Scottish football, Alan, it's pretty scary, and for us as Celtic fans, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. We spoke about on Wednesday morning. Spoke about maybe Jota getting as much game time as possible because of obviously the upcoming Champions League game we've got. We weren't necessarily wanting to get into that game with Yang playing. Obviously, we Dyson Maeda is suspended for that first game, so I think you'll probably see Jota having a big part to play at the weekend as well. I thought he looked very, very good. As you say, he's maybe low up to the match fitness that he himself kind of strives towards as well. When you're saying he's wanting the ball, I think it's probably a mere kind of frustration that he's not really played a hell of a lot when you look over the last kind of year to 18 months. So he's probably got on his mind and is determined that he wants to come in here and kind of hit the ground running right away. And for me, he has that kind of cross for Dyson Maeda. I've kind of watched it back again, and the amount of kind of space that he's created with maybe one touch out to the right, created that amount of space, and then the cross is sublime. It's kind of pinpoint accuracy. Dyson's obviously made a great run as well, but that can only kind of breed confidence into Jota as well. I think that might be that could have been an issue, his confidence, when you look at that he's no kind of picked up a number of appearances over the last while. So if you've got a confident fire Jota, then you're right, he's going to be kind of one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league, because we all know what Jota is capable of. And I think you're starting to see wee bits of that, and I think he's going to continue to kick on from this the more match fitness that he gains.
And obviously to bring him back, Alan, is as much as there was a wee bit of kind of maybe a wee bit of negative spin, I know get a forward in, and maybe the boards have done this or the recruitment teams have done this. We've got to get aboard a wee bit of pat in the back. Whoever was the guy or the people involved that got this deal done, because
Pat in the
to
back
sell him,
manoeuvre.
was that?
The pat in the back
The
manoeuvre.
pat in the back manoeuvre, aye, right. Go and get him, go and get him. No, for me, we've sold him for 25. We're brought him back for 8. If the reports are right, that's some bit of business, Alan, for me. That's incredible business. And we knew the player we sold was tremendous. The player we got back, superb. So let's just hope we can continue that. And a lot of people might have said, "Oh, is he going to flop? Is he going to be the same player?" But I think in terms of the business deal, Alan, I think he's 25 now, more experience. I think he's hungry to succeed again and enjoy his football. We could actually get the best Jota this time around.
I think you are going to get the kind of, you look at most players, they kind of they hit their best years round about between maybe 26 and 29. You're looking at that's the best time to have these kind of players. So I obviously we sold them for 25 million, but that you're taking away the 30% that Benfica had as well with the sell on. So you're looking at it's probably the profit, like 19 million, but to kind of bring them back for 8, it's still £11 million kind of we've got in comparison to that kind of deal. So that is a great bit of business by the board. That there is no doubting when it comes to kind of gaining financially that we have got very astute members of the hierarchy in the board. I think maybe the criticisms that lie on the board are maybe that they maybe no spend as much or give the manager as much backing as they can do or they should do. But when it comes to terms they kind of make money, they're showing kind of year on year that they're very, very astute with kind of the way they deal with finances. But yeah, you're looking at Jota. I think that is a great bit of business. If we can get them kind of fit and firing, match fitness as well. If we can get that kind of Jota for the remainder of this season, then that only strengthens our kind of challenge towards a domestic treble as well. So I think we probably want to see kind of Jota playing regularly, because the amount of time that he gets on the pitch, then I think that kind of excels him being back to his maximum quicker. And that's what we want to see when you're looking at when you're looking at the game against Dundee with Nicholas Khun on the bench. You know what I mean, when you're looking at that, you've got Maeda and Jota, but you've got somebody on the bench that can come on and change games, whether that be that Maeda would be on the bench, Jota on the bench, or Khun on the bench. You're looking at very, very good players that can come on and kind of have a massive impact towards the kind of ending of a game if we're maybe one down or kind of drawing a game that we're finding it hard to kind of make the breakthrough. You're looking at you've got either one in the three and one a kind of top player that can come on and make that difference. So yeah, in terms of kind of quality and squad depth, the signing of Jota is bringing both basically. That's bringing a lot to the squad and the first 11, I'd say.
Yeah, I think you'll also see, Alan, that when James Forrest comes back, I don't know when he's back, if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know when he's going to be back for us, but you'll probably see that'll be Yang back in the pecking order as well, if Forrest is back fully fit as well. So I know Forrest is aging, he's still, was it 32 now, Forrest, roughly, 31, 32. So he's
Yeah, I
not,
said
he's,
too.
he's not a veteran. He's still able to come in and contribute and still help the squad. So I think you'll probably see Yang maybe go back again, and Forrest will probably come in and take his place, and Forrest will probably still contribute. So in terms of wings now with Jota here, you're fully stocked now. And like you said last night, I think we're 4-0 up at the time. I think when they brought on Nicholas Khun. That's showing no mercy. That's showing no, go and get more goals. Be
Yeah.
ruthless. And obviously, we spoke about as well. We started the show. Arnie Engels scores a penalty. Depending who you support and stuff like that, you're going to think it's not a penalty. I actually didn't see, obviously, where I sat at the other end where Celtic were shooting to start the first half, and I actually I didn't see it properly, so I didn't know why they were looking for a penalty. So I can be honest and say I didn't know at the time it was a penalty, because obviously at the game you don't see replays now either, so I didn't really know what they were checking for. And then when I obviously came home and I seen it, and I actually got a text from my dad during the game saying it's a stone wall, and I went, "Oh, right, I didn't think it was. I didn't know what it was." And I've seen it back, and I can see what it's given Alan. It's just to be football is now. You just can't pull a jersey.
Aye.
It's people might say it's all, people might say Stonewall, but for me it's a penalty, because the way that things are given for now, you just can't put your hand on somebody to pull a jersey. So for me, obviously, he steps up and scores a cracking penalty in the corner. Don't save him, but for me, I think it's a penalty. I don't see how it can be nowadays anyway. Maybe years ago we might get away with it, but no, no.
Yeah, but by the letter of the law, it's a penalty. I think it's soft, and this is my thoughts, because obviously I've grew up in an era that maybe 20 years ago, if that kind of thing happened, it would just get laughed off. There's not a hope in hell that was given kind of years ago. But the way that kind of football's developed, the way that football's changed, the rules that have changed, it's definitely a penalty. I think it's soft, most likely, but that's probably my way of thinking, because I've been used to kind of the football in a different way. Football that's maybe no refereed to that kind of close standards that any kind of pool, or most pools, are constitutes a penalty kick. So I can see both ways. I can see why people say that it's definitely a penalty, because by the letter of the law and the rules, it is a penalty. And you can see why people say it's maybe slightly soft, because in years gone past, you'd probably get laughed at if you're saying that's a penalty. So, aye, but as you say, Arnie Engels steps up and slots it away. That's a very decent penalty, and getting that goal kind of that kick starts well 3 goal scoring kind of reign that particular night. So yeah, no, it's a very important penalty, and put it in the corner, nothing they could do about it, and we move on for that. And what we've seen after that, we started kind of seeing some proper good football as well.
Because for me, obviously, Alan Engels, again, I think, I don't know if is it like 9 goals and 7 assists or something, he's going to the league or something like that, or it's all
I
be
think
about,
so,
but
yeah.
so bad for a guy that was getting labelled an £11 million dad and stuff like that, and I've kind of put my neck on the line after 2 or 3 games that this guy was going to be something really good for us. I just seen he was doing the basics right, Alan, and I know it might sound daft, but if you do the basics right, then you've got a basis of a good player. People might think, oh, well, you wouldn't be playing football if you didn't do the basics right, but no every player does the basics right every game. Like you've seen sometimes with Celtic, you've seen with Rangers, other teams, people hit the ball at the park all the time. You're thinking, God, going to just keep the ball, pass the ball 5 yards. And Engels, for me, keeps it simple. He's always scanning, if that's word scanning now, he always looks about, do you know what I mean? And he's run, people always used to go, oh, he's only does this, he's running power, that's all he does. Well, go and look at his gameplay, go and look at, if you're into stats and data, go and look at all that. He's got a running power, he can tackle, he's physically, he's getting stronger, his distribution's getting better, his deliveries are brilliant for corners and free kicks. So for me, and I'll stick my neck on, and again, I think he will turn out to be an £11 million bargain. I think he's top notch, and people might go, oh, he almost scores penalties, but that's what James Tavernier does, and he's getting lauded in Hall of Fame stuff. So you can't come back with that about him scoring penalties. You still got to step up and score the penalty. So for me, Engels is a terrific player, Alan. He's getting better every game, and obviously the goal for, was it Maeda? Again, he done that in Motherwell during the week, last week as well. That pass from the bend, does it every week, man. Every week he does one. Might not always come off, but for me, Alan, he's different class, and the more he plays, I just think he's going to look even better.
Yeah, no, I've said the same thing all along. As soon as they come in, you can kind of see, you can watch with your own eyes and see that somebody's got a bit about them. Somebody's got talent. Somebody's got skill, and I think the most important attribute that Engels has got is his intelligence as a footballer. His football intelligence, I think, is very, very good. He did come in, you could see that he was a very decent player. That lots and lots of potential. Maybe after a few games, his performances slightly dipped, and that's maybe where the criticism came from. But for me, I think the criticism was kind of severely unjust, because you're looking at always kind of the example of Nicholas Khun last year. When Nicholas Khun came in, there were certain kind of things that were holding him back for kind of reaching the heights that he has been reaching this year. Whether that be was kind of a medical issue, settling in. But that's a young boy. It's a human being that's coming in and into a different country, a different league, different culture, different style of play, a more kind of bigger fan base, etc. So it is. They're human beings. They're not going to kind of adapt straight away. But the positives that I had straight away is that if you watch him, you can see right away that there's something about him. He has got very good technical ability. He does look like a very good player. I think we're going to see a lot more Engels. I think we're starting to see kind of why we paid that kind of money. And I think he's going to continue to improve the more he kind of gets comfortable in his surroundings. You're looking at, can I paid that money? But I'd say now, with the potential that he's got, it is starting to look like a decent fee that we're paid, because he is looking kind of like a very, very decent player. I was really impressed with the relationship that he's been having with kind of Raith Rovers in the middle of the park, especially the game against Dundee. I thought the two of them just kind of it was like telepathic. The two of them were very in sync. To the kind of football we were seeing in the middle of the park. I think I said to you guys last night. I think any debate we had about who our best middle three is in the midfield, I think we can put that to bed now, because you're looking at the qualities that Rayo's been performing, the levels he's been performing at in the last few games, and you're looking at the performances that Engels been putting in, and the two of them are kind of different gravy. I think two of them are very, very talented players, and they seem to kind of connect and play football together in a very impressive manner. So I think if we're looking, I know that Paulo Bernardo will come on as well. He will start to kind of get better as well. I think he's a young player, and there is a lot of improvement in Paulo Bernardo. Maybe that's kind of coming in these next few months or next season. But for me at present, I think 100% that my best kind of midfield is Callum McGregor, Ray Rovers, and the Engels, and I think that's starting to show. I think that's it's a certainty that that's our best middle three now, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you, mate. I think me, you, and JP said that last week. That's the best midfield three in terms of quality. They're all kind of help each other, like you says, intelligence. McGregor's getting intelligence as well. The three are really good together. And I think Bernardo's brilliant, but he's just unfortunate. The guys who have come in, Engels has come in, even McKibben's decent.
That's not to forget about McCown
No,
either.
that's what I mean.
He's contributed as well. So
I still think there's a wee bit of levels there. I think McKibben's a good player, Bernardo's a really good player, but then I think Engels attack the great. They're up that pecking order just a wee bit than them. I think they're three really good players in the middle of the park, and you've seen that yesterday, Alan. And people will go to Dundee, but you still need to play at that high level, and you still need to play that consistency. And I think they've been brilliant the last few weeks. McGregor might have not been at his best against Motherwell, but then it turns out against Dundee and it's effortless for him. It's like he's not had a bad game, and that's the reason why I don't always give McGregor a lot of flack, because he might have an odd bad game, but then he turns up for 5-6 weeks in a row and performs out his skin. He's allowed the odd bad game, but see when you get some players that perform not their best for 5-6, and then you're thinking, right, come on, you need to turn it around here. You need to either score a goal, or you need to do something here, or you need to defend better. So McGregor has the odd bad game. And obviously, I've looked at some of his stats a while ago. It was also 2 3 weeks ago, but I thought he was maybe wasn't really playing well for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But his stats, if you're into stats and data, it's actually telling you, isn't he? He was actually still doing pretty well for the level. He was probably still the best in the league at the level. So sometimes the stats and data doesn't always back up what you see, but it probably should. For certain players, for Engels, it probably does, because for me, Engels is brilliant. So, but no, I think I agree with you. I think that's the best midfield three we've got at the moment. I think Bernardo and McKibben, they'll find it hard to probably sentiment their place in there unless it's injuries or it's based on rotational basis. But I think that's your best three, mate. And another guy who obviously we spoke about, well, Brendan spoke about quite highly, was Maeda. I thought it was absolutely relentless yesterday. Wednesday, and this is about Friday, so it was relentless. The fact that 92nd minute and they've still pressing and chasing and harrying at that minute of the game, that's different level fitness levels. And for me, Alan, his goal, frightening. I was right behind that, and I was like, wow, that was phenomenal. To even think about chipping the goalie at that pace as well that we went on it, for me, Alan, it was tremendous, and it just capped a brilliant night for him.
yeah, no, and I think that kind of plays into the debate we've had as well, that he is far better on the wings. I think when he's no that kind of focal point, he gets that kind of freedom to make the kind of runs that he got for his first goal. You're looking at the freedom he's got for the second goal, which is absolutely tremendous finish. So yeah, no, he's been top notch, and his energy levels I think are second to none. I'm struggling to think not even any player we've had, any player in football that has energy levels like kind of does in Maeda. He is kind of one of a kind. I can't think of many players that have had that kind of input, the way that he kind of approaches the game. So I think he is one of the players that you would, when you, I hope we have him for a number of years to come, but when he does eventually decide to leave or retire, etc., he is one of the players that you won't be able to kind of replace in that the way he plays, because it's a very, very difficult kind of type of player that to get him, because there's no many players like that out there. We've always says that he's maybe no the best technically. He's maybe put an argument towards that, like with that finish last night. But there is times he makes a hashy kind of finishes, etc. But his strong points are his work rate, his energy levels, the way he presses, the way he approaches the game. So for us, he's an instrumental part of the way we play football. and he's a kind of massively important member of the squad and the side. So yeah, I think he's starting to get kind of massive credit, which I think is due and well deserved.
Do you think there can be an argument now that he's probably one of your most important every week in the team?
Yeah, the way we play football, I would say that the intensity levels that we want to kind of reach when we're playing. He's he's a very influential part of the way we play football. So I think he is kind of one of the first names on the team sheet. It's a good headache for kind of Brendan to have, but when you're looking at, you mentioned James Forrest as well, I think he will contribute. But when you're looking at the likes of Dyson Maeda, Jota, and Nicholas Khun, it's who you going to play there? Who's the two that come in? I know it's a kind of squad game. I know there will be kind of substitutes and rotation, but it's a very good headache for Brendan to have, because you've got three very accomplished players, three very important players, and three guys that can change games, as we've seen. And for me, when they're on top of their game, they're kind of some of the best players in the country, I'd say. And they're showing that kind of, obviously, recently, kind of time and again. So yeah, let's hope the three of them kind of stay fit, and that's going to be a very, very strong part of our play down the wings, because they're very, very impressive players for me.
And obviously, another topic of conversation before Kyogo left. Could Ida be the main man? Is he going to recover his form for last year? Because let's be fair, you've got to call a spade a spade. You've got to call things when you see it. You can't always look at the future or what's going to happen in hindsight. For maybe a few months there, it's not getting game time as maybe as much as we were liked. I think I got no a goal in 30 to 14 games. You can only go on, right. You've got credit in the bank, big man, for last year. But when you need to start doing it now, there's only so long we can say that you've got credit, or you've got the ability. Then eventually you need to show it. Maybe Kyogo leaving was the step up for him. Yes, ideally that shouldn't need to step him up, but maybe sometimes when you know that guy's away, you know you're going to run the team. The belief's there for the manager now. If you're going to be the main man, you've not brought in somebody else to either come and help you or replace you. So he knows he's the main man at least to the summer. He knows he's going to be playing most weeks. So again, that's four goals now in 3 games, something like that. He's got something like that. So he's starting to have a bit of form. So again, we've got to praise when praise is needed. I've been quite critical of him for no scoring enough goals in the last few months. I don't think he's shown the either of last year that maybe got him the contract, and that's just me being honest. I can only go by what I'm seeing in front of me. But what I've seen in front of me the last few games, he's been pretty good. His movement's been better, his finishing's been better, and his reactions was good for the goal. So again, on Admida, Alan, he wasn't perfect, but he's definitely shown a lot better, and his finish was good again. His reactions, he was a bit quicker, his movement and his physical play. So again, you've got to heap praise on him for he's getting his goal and been part of the winning team yesterday.
Yeah. The last thing we want to do is maybe be a bit critical on Celtic players, but it was there for all us to see, kind of in front of us, that he wasn't reaching the levels that we need at Celtic. I'm not saying he has to score in every game. That's not always going to be the case. But when you're at a massive club like Celtic, there is an expectation that you score every kind of few games at a minimum. And he obviously wasn't doing that. But I think when you look at the last kind of maybe 3 games, I think his performance levels have kind of risen quite substantially. I think he's starting to show why we kind of paid that kind of money. But I think we need to kind of see this over a longer period. He has to add that kind of consistency to his game. He has to add. We need to be seeing this kind of most weeks. We are seeing that type of Adamida, that type of striker that we paid a substantial fee for. But credit where credit's due. He has kind of the last the last few games he stepped up to the mark, and hopefully that continues, because I think he has got the attributes to be a good Celtic striker. He's obviously still relatively young, so there is kind of more to come for him, I think. But aye, so it is a good start. He took his goal reasonably well last night. He has on the score sheet again, so that can only give him more and more confidence the more he continues to score. I think there is going to be a lot of kind of weight on his shoulders, shall we say, with Johnny Kenny come on. I don't know what you made the his kind of short appearance. I'm not making any judgment yet. I thought the first time we seen him, he looked decent in that spell, but I thought at the Dundee game he maybe looked a tad nervous. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know. But as I say, there's still a long way to go. I'm sure he'll get plenty of game time as well. He'll get a kind of longer period to show what he's all about. I think if we're looking at the game at the weekend as well, I'm sure we'll kind of give our team predictions, etc. in a bit. But I think this is probably the ideal game to let Kenny maybe have a start. I think when you're looking at this, it's not going to be an easy game. There'll be a long shot. Obviously, Raith Rovers are doing reasonably well, but you're looking at this as probably on paper, one of the kind of easier games that you'll have in comparison to kind of Premier League games or Champions League games. So I think this would probably be the ideal time to kind of bed him in, give him a bit of minutes and truly see what he's all about, because he is going to play his part for the rest of the season now. There's no doubt about that, because he's the number 2 striker at present. Maybe we didn't want to be in that position, but that's where we stand just now, so we need to deal with it. And for me, I think we kind of probably need to see him a bit more before we make a proper judgment call on him.
Yeah, no, I ain't going to add him either. I think obviously he'll get a lot of animation with Jota and Maeda and Khun. You've seen Jota yesterday, and even Khun when he come on, we'll touch on him very soon as well, Alan. So he's going to get a lot of opportunities to get goals, especially in Scotland, because obviously we've got 2 games in Europe, but potentially could be our last 2. I hope not. I hope it's one of the nights that 2 nights that we absolutely show the world that we're this brilliant team and we can beat. But listen, I hope we can beat Bayern Munich. It's not impossible, but we all know it's going to be pretty.
That's highly unlikely,
Aye,
but it's not impossible.
Aye,
We don't want to
it's no
think that
but
way, but aye, it's
you've
a
got to try
massive
and
challenge.
you've got to try and keep as much faith as you can. But listen, if you look at football in a real way, you know it's going to be completely difficult to do it. As long as you try and get a really positive result at Celtic Park, and then you go over there and just do what you can, and let's just hope for the best. I think it's not a free for all for Bayern Munich. It's not an easy game for them, because we'll still put up a challenge, but it is going to be hard. But domestically, I think either will get a lot of chances, and obviously Johnny Kenny. Flip was okay, Alan. He didn't really get much, to be honest with you. It looked a wee bit sharp, to be fair. But I could maybe say a wee bit nervous, maybe, but again, you can't judge him, Alan. Like he says, he's got to get me a game time, as in no just 5 minutes off the bench. It's got to be a bit more than that. So I think the Raith game could be a chance. It could be a chance for other guys to get a game time as well, but we will touch on that. But I think he's going to get some game time, Alan. You can't judge anybody after 5 minutes after the bench or 10 minutes. That's just no fair. So maybe when somebody's maybe getting off the bench for 25, 20 minutes at a period of time, and they're not scoring goals or they're no assisting at all, then you might go, right, you need to give him a game. If he's not doing it then you go, right, okay, maybe he's not good enough, but you can't judge after 5, 10 minutes. That's pretty crazy. But obviously, Nicholas Khun, Alan, came on the park. Don't know if he had a point to prove, or maybe been on the bench. Jota's back. He's playing. I'll wait there. I'm going to come on the bench.
I'm still
I can't
here.
bench. I'm still here. Look what I can do. And to be fair, again, that's where I sat at that goal, and what a goal that was. And I was like, wow, that's fighting. And the thing that really impressed me, Alan, was effortless. It was just you bang the man, looked up, tapped in. It wasn't even like he had to stride or he had to. It was just effortless, Alan. It was just pure ability, pure quality, and I think there's a wee reminder. Listen here, George here, but I'm still here. I'm still Nicholas Khun. I'm still this top player. So what a headache it is, Alan, to have him come off the bench. And to be fair to Brendan Rodgers, was it 4-0 up? And he's bringing on Bernardo, he's bringing on McCowan, he's bringing on Nicholas Khun. Deadly, ruthless, and I want that. I don't want no mercy. I don't want to just to kind of pass about the back. You phone off. No, go for gung ho. Go and get more goals. And what is it? Is it 28 goal difference or something? That's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic goal. As you say, it did look effortless. The finish was tremendous, but I think that's probably where the similarities you get from kind of Jota and Khun. It just looks. See, usually when you're playing football, you try and kind of create that yard of space to get the shot off. They'll just kind of doing it without. They're creating probably more than a yard of space, and it seems so effortless that they're creating that kind of space to get shots away or crosses away, etc. So, aye, no, it was an absolutely tremendous goal. It's maybe hard to pick a player of the year so far for Celtic. There's been a lot of shouts about kind of Dyson Maeda, but Nicholas Khun's right up there with the performances that he's had this season. The amount of goal contributions he's had, whether that be assists or actual goals, he has been very, very impressive this year. So it's a great headache for Brendan to have. You're looking at the kind of changes he made late on. I think you might see a few of them kind of getting a start. I think there might be a few changes this weekend upcoming. But I think we're looking at in modern day football as a squad game. We do make the kind of most of the time we're making 4 or 5 substitutions. So everybody will have a part to play, but when you're looking at the kind of our strongest first 11, I think it's starting to kind of materialise who our strongest 11 is. I think that's pretty clear. There is kind of a few players that have got that kind of upper echelon of quality, shall we say, with the likes of kind of Jota, Khun, Maeda, Hatate, Cal McGregor, Arnie Engels, etc. So yeah, no, it puts us in a very positive mood, and it looks very positive ongoing. Like the way we've been playing. I just hope these European games don't derail the kind of positivity and the confidence we've got. I hope we can kind of just. We're playing against Bayern Munich, so obviously we need to keep the faith that we can do something, but I just hope that we keep it respectable no matter what. I just hope we give a good account of ourselves and make sure that it's no a kind of Borussia Dortmund or kind of PSG the past, an absolute drubbing, because I think if we keep it respectable, then that can only kind of breed confidence that we can match at times in games. We can match these kind of quality of teams. So yeah, no, everything's looking really good just now. And adding that performance that we've seen against Dundee, I think that the players will kind of be on cloud nine just now. They'll be feeling that they're playing at an extremely high level, and hopefully they continue to do that.
I like you say, obviously in the past we've had Dortmund and PSG, and it's so nice. To be fair, that result in Dortmund could have derailed us, and to be fair, it didn't. But I think ever since that, we went on a long unbeaten run. I can't remember exactly the run, but it was pretty good, pretty successful. So, but you don't want that again. That's something we don't want to go to Munich and get a drubbing. You want to try and be really competitive, and if it's an Atlanta performance, then we'll take it all day long. Like I say, it's not impossible. It's just about doing the right things, the basic things correctly, staying as a team, being compact, and try to score when you get the chance, because you might not get many chances in Munich, so you need to take them. I think at Celtic Park, I think we'll put a really good account of ourselves. I think at Celtic Park we've pretty decent in the now in Europe. Years gone by we've no been. The last few years we've no been, but it's been pretty decent this year. I think we're unbeaten at Celtic Park this year. I think it's been clean sheets as well. Every game's been a clean sheet apart from Leipzig, I think, as well. The
We
Bratislava,
conceded
sorry,
against
too.
Bratislava, didn't
Aye,
we?
so it's been 2 goals, I think, in it. That's right. So pretty
Bruges are
decent.
up. Aye, Bruges. Aye.
Aye. Well,
Well,
there you go. I'm top rubbish here. I'm away with
2 games,
it.
aye.
No, but it was fine. No, so it was 4 games in a row with clean sheets in it. No, just overall. Am I right in saying before Aston Villa? That's what it was, wasn't it? Aye.
Aye. And all games, I think, because Bruges was one each, wasn't it?
Atlanta, Young Boys, Zagreb. So no one more.
I don't know. Maybe
No,
3. Because your top Bruges
3.
was one each, wasn't it?
Right,
Aye.
there you go. Aye.
Aye.
So I knew we'd been at a phase where we're done really well. We went on kind of unbeaten and a few clean sheets and all, and basically. But European wise, Alan, it's one of our better runs in Europe. Because before
Aye.
last season, it wasn't great. We were getting beat, like you say, we were getting dropped at home, and you don't want that. You want as much positivity going to Germany as we can. And listen, I think we'll get a decent result. I'm not saying we're going to win or anything, but I think we'll be competitive. I think we'll do well. It's just about carrying that over to Germany. And obviously, like you say, mate, it's keep the faith about the players and just hope we can go and get an absolute memorable result. I think is it Leverkusen and that or somebody after potentially. So listen, it's got to be tough, but this is the games you want to play,
Well,
and this is the games you want to test yourself in. This is the games that the players will want to step up, and this is why Rodgers was brought here. So we'll just obviously deal with it another time. I think it's next Wednesday. We're recording this as a Wednesday, first day recording, so it'll be the following Wednesday, I think, or the Tuesday, Wednesday. So,
Wednesday.
but yeah, obviously, talked about debuts and players off the bench. Jeffrey Slip came on. He got a bit of time. Thought it looked okay. He actually looks like an charm. You see him warming up and you see him kick. He looks like an charm the way he kind of plays his football. But thought it was quite steady. I don't think it was any issues, any alarming issues with debut. I thought he was quite comfortable on the ball. He does look quite sharp, to be fair. Where will he play at left back or he play centre mid? I don't know where he'll play. I don't know if he will be used as a utility player. I don't know where he'll play, Alan, because he can play a few positions. But thought it was decent debut. Obviously, it's easier to come on when you're kind of maybe winning and your team is playing well. It's not as hard as come on when you're maybe not winning. So he get quite a good introduction with the fans and the game. So overall for him, a good debut for him, and he'll be happy with it.
Yeah, it looked okay. I don't. It's one of the ones that we were talking about earlier. You'll know what to kind of judge him on that kind of small part of time. He looked alright. It was one of the kind of when he came on, it's a 6 out of 10. He didn't do anything kind of massively untoward. I think he's maybe like that kind of match fitness. Shall we say? He's not really played an excessive amount of kind of game time this year. So. As I say, aye, we'll kind of hold judgment. He didn't do anything wrong. I would say that he looked fine enough. I think, and that's another player coming up to Raith Rovers. I think that's another player we'd probably like to see start. We see a wee bit of a longer time that we're getting a wee look at him. So I would probably see him kind of starting the game against Raith Rovers. And hopefully see let the fans see a wee bit more what it's all about and what it can contribute.
And as you mentioned, Raith Rovers on Saturday, Alan.
Aye.
I think the game is on TV as well. So if you haven't got the game, you
Or
can watch it
5
on
in it.
TV. 5:30 kickoff. Crazy.
Uh,
But what is your thoughts on the game, Alan? Do you think he'll change a lot? Do you think he'll try and keep it strong to maybe no take them too late? I know we did it with Falkirk. He made a few changes that didn't start great, but then eventually it turned out pretty convincing near the end. But do you think there'll be a few changes, or do you think he'll try and go strong and then make the changes? But what's your thinking towards the game, mate, and a wee team selection?
aye. Brendan can be kind of unpredictable in these kind of ones. You're expecting with kind of games against kind of lower league, the lower league than us opposition. You're expecting them to make kind of a number of changes and utilise the squad, and whether that be kind of get game time for guys that are maybe not playing as much as the other players. So I think it would be sensible with the upcoming game against Bayern Munich, it would probably be sensible for him to make a number of changes, but he could maybe see it the other way and want the kind of continuity of the players kind of playing together before the Bayern Munich game, but at the same time then you're kind of risking maybe a dodgy tackle coming in and kind of one of my players getting injured before that game. So I think he will kind of make a number of changes. I think it will be difficult for any of the two of us to get the team wise spot on, because Brendan can kind of do anything. But for me, I'll have a guess at the team line, and I think he'll probably still stick with Michael and goal. I know a lot of people might say kind of Sanassalo come in. I think with the still a decent rival at Raith Rovers. I think Michael will stay in goal. I could see Tony Ralston coming in. I think the centre back pairings will be Trusty and Scales. I think Sloop might start left back. I think the midfield, I think he'll stick with Cal McGregor. And I think it might be Paolo Bernardo and Luke McCowan in front. And then I think the wing positions will be your good friend Mr. Yang. I think Nicholas Khun will come in. Obviously, he was on the bench the other day, but I think Jota. I'm going to go Yang and Jota actually. It was hard between Khun and Jota, but I think Jota might start. I think they'll try to get as much kind of game time into Jota as possible before this game. And I think it'll be Johnny Kenny that will start up front. So I think we will have a very strong bench. But as I say, Brendan could basically play the same team as he played against Dundee. So it's just kind of guesswork these type of games, because you don't know how many changes he's kind of comfortable with making. Because sometimes it goes against you if you make too many changes and it doesn't kind of work out right and kind of made to look silly. So I think there will be a number of changes, but we can only see what happens. What you think, mate?
Kind of the same. I actually think he'll play Sanassalo. The only reason I'm thinking that is because obviously he gave Casper a day off extra last week. Maybe he's feeling it a wee bit, and maybe he doesn't. And plus, I'd rather Casper was fully fit for Bayern Munich, because we could have a successful night, or it could be up for a long night, and we need him as fit as possible. So I'm going to think he'll play Sanassalo, just to give him a bit of game time and give Michael a wee rest, because he obviously he is getting older. He's played a lot of football. I know he can handle it, but he might appreciate a wee bit of rest as well. I'm going to go with the same back line as you. I think he will play Scales with Trusty. I think Ralph will come back in. Actually, I know we've not really mentioned, but I thought Johnson was different class yesterday.
Yeah.
To be fair, I thought he's back to his normal self, flowing into tackles, and he was very, very organised. So, but I think he'll play Tony, and I think he'll play Slip as well, left back. Guy Taylor, a wee break as well. I actually seen as well. We've seen today recording Thursday afternoon that Greg Taylor's potentially going to Zagreb. We'll touch on that, Alan, before we go. Well, no, it's true or no, it's in the papers, I don't know, but we'll touch on that for 2 minutes at the end, mate. Midfield, I'm going the same as you. With Kevin, Bernardo and McGregor. I don't think he'll no play McGregor. It was good to see him getting took off, but a wee bit of kind of respite for him, not to play 90 minutes, get a wee break, which I thought was really good management for Brendan. Similar in terms of, I think he'll play either on the bench just to protect him for Bayern Munich, because he's on a very form now. You don't really want to pull a hamstring, get a silly ankle knock or anything against Raith Rovers. Again, no disrespect to Raith Rovers, but Bayern Munich's a massive game for the Soldier Scottish Cup, but he's your main striker as it stands at the moment, and you probably need your main striker fit against Bayern Munich. So I think he'll go with Yang. Again, I think just to give him a bit more game time and no risk. If you want, I don't want to say major players or main players, but the guys who play every week, like your Khuns or Maedas or Jotas, etc. I think he will play Yang. I actually think he'll play Maeda through the middle. And I think he'll play Nicholas Khun. I think he'll put Jota on the bench. And I think he'll keep them for the second half. if need be. But I think Jota will get game time. Either might come on to just in case anything is maybe not going the way we want it. But like you say, that's all guesswork. We don't know what he's going to do. He could make some changes. I'm just trying to think of certain scenarios that keeping guys fresh for the Munich game, because I know people might go on the Scottish Cup. I get that, but you still have enough off the bench to go and beat Raith Rovers. Again, it's no against them. It's just the ability that we've got in the squad should be able to beat Raith Rovers at Celtic Park with a few changes. So, but I'm just thinking ahead in the Munich game with Ida and Jota as well. But obviously, we've seen the wee snippet today. I can't remember if it was the Daily Record down that put out. I'm not sure who it was, but whether or not it's true or no, there was wee murmurs about chats with Dinamo Zagreb a few weeks ago. If that's the case, that Greg Taylor is to go to Zagreb in the summer, then listen, we'll deal with that when it comes. But if it's true, Alan, we wish him all the best and hopefully continues the rest of the season to be the Greg Taylor domestically that we've seen and continues to be pretty solid for us. But what's your take on that, mate?
It was the Daily Record that reported it, but we don't always believe the Daily Record. Sometimes it's no factual that comes out, but I think they're actually quoting I think it's a Croatian news outlet. So if he's not signed a contract, but I think it's probably the case that he is going to leave us on a free. It is disappointing that we're not going to get kind of any money out the deal, but I think he's been a good servant to Celtic. If he is to leave, then kind of we wish him all the best, and we'll bring in kind of that'll probably be a couple of replacements now. A left back position, that'll be a totally new kind of side to the park, that position. So if he is to go, then all the best to him. Wish him all the best, and hopefully we can bring in kind of ready-made replacements and Kieran Tierney, and if that's the case, we're going to need either Jeffrey Sloop if he succeeds for him to stay on, or we bring on another. So these players come and go. So if that's the case, we deal with it, move on.
Yeah, like you say, Alan, it's probably something you could touch on in a more detailed analysis of his Celtic career, and kind of wish him all the best when and if it happens. But again, Alan, it's been good to chat to you. Been pretty detailed to get through a lot of the game, and obviously Raith Rovers came up big game against Bayern Munich as well, which we'll touch on in a few days coming. But if you have been listening to the podcast, and or if you're just new, we are running a bonus ball under the wee running bar under me and Alan here. You'll see some of the details. That is a Joe Miller signed jersey and framed jersey of Joe. I'll get the wee photos up for you. That is the photo of Joe. I'll take the wee banner away so you can see it. It's a photo of the strip signed by Mr. Joe Miller himself. It is £5 a ball. If you do want to take a wee shot of the jersey, that is evidence of it being signed, and it is a real jersey. That a lot of people are wanting that these days. The real proof. That is the proof that it is.
Of authenticity.
Yes, that's it, Alan. That's why you're here, mate. I can't say things like that. I'm not the best at that, but yeah, that is the proof that it is all real, and it's no a scam or anything like that. There's Joe Miller. It is hand signed, just a wee plaque of it. It's a photo of Joe with the cup, and there is a full photo of the frame and it's signed, and the photo itself. You can obviously contact us through our social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok. Myself, Alan and JP, we are on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter, and the page is on Twitter and Facebook as well. We're all on Facebook as well. And that is a PayPal that is £5 per ball. I think there's about 18 or so left at the moment, so there's been a few inquiries also as well, so we'll try and get hold of that as well. But that is the PayPal. It's rank up for 9 at aol.co.uk. That is £5 per ball. If you do wish to get a hold of us and you haven't got PayPal, you can contact us on social media or the community page, and we'll try our best to get a hold of you of another payment details. But if you do want a wee chance of winning that amazing jersey, then you can let us know and we'll sort that out for you. If you do like your podcast, you do like our content, please like and subscribe to the podcast. It is free. You don't need to pay a penny. Just click the subscribe button after this show and you'll get all the notifications in future future shows and details that are coming up on the podcast. We have obviously other episodes that have been done before with guests like Kevin Wilson and guys like that, Paul Byrne. They are all on the playlist of our channel, and you can get them as well. And obviously, we've done one with Barry Banner, who's on here, about his career and that as well. So if that is your podcast that is more into footballers, then we've got a wee list of guys I've interviewed and spoke to as well. So, but again, we appreciate your time, Alan. Hope you're well for the rest of the night. I know we've got a good game coming up, Spurs and I think Arsenal to look forward to. So, again, mate, looking forward to the game on Saturday, Raith Rovers Scottish Cup.
Spurs
Hopefully,
Liverpool,
aye, love. Who did I say it was? Spurs and Liverpool. Who did I say it was?
Spurs and Arsenal.
There you go. Arsenal beat yesterday. See, live show and that my other place here. Obviously, Liverpool and Spurs, but good game for people to watch as well. So we'll find that obviously after when this is out recording. We'll obviously know the score. But Alan, take care, mate. Enjoy your rest of your night, and I'll see you very soon, mate.
Yeah, well.